All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live on YouTube, November 4th. All right, let's see what markets took a pretty good dump last night. I should say, yeah, pretty much late last night into this morning. So we've got some areas to map out. Who caught the trade on the NQ? Left you guys with that setup yesterday. Very nice trade, TP1 and TP2. Let's see how many, see what the drawdown was on that one. I wasn't on the charts. I think it happened at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Not bad, 3 points of drawdown. That's within the acceptable range on my NQ. Nice. Good morning, Spence. Good morning, Random Barbarian. Mike, good morning. Top Step Randy, good morning. I will address your question too. Nordic, good morning. Joe, good morning. All right, well, let's clean up these charts here a little bit. Make sure I don't delete that. And TP2. All right, beautiful. Let's go to the 15-minute here. All right, so we had a setup mapped out here at the 25,449, targeting the 456 and the 460. Probably mapped that one out, I think, last week. So we got a little ways to go for that one, but the market is on a free fall, so we'll take a look there. And then let's take a look on the man, we got a lot of stuff to map out here. Let's see if I can condense the screen here just a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. First area of interest we've got right up here. This over here was the market open. I'm not interested in that. Let's take a look at this area right here, which falls between the 25,935 and the 25,976. Great day of trading yesterday. I mean, as far as my personal trading, it was I would say, a very poor day for myself. Ended up green, which was great, but really didn't like that NQ trade that I took. Kind of fumbled that one. And I watched it a few times on the stream and didn't like it at all. All right, let's see what's going on here. Nothing great here. Nothing super clean. Not a big fan of the volume profile either there. Okay. So the only area of interest right here would be right smackaroonie there. But even that doesn't look very great. Let's see what else. All right, I mean, we kind of broke structure here, but a lot of pullbacks. So I don't like this. This balanced out all the volume here. So take that one off. Now, I guess to the downside, really the only thing that's interesting to me would be this trader setup right here that we had mapped out. Again, the 25,449 targeting the 25,456 and the 460. It's kind of the only thing I see right now, at least to the downside. All right, let's take a look at this area right here. Kind of clean, broke structure a little bit, mini structure. Let's see what we got here. Unfortunately, we got kind of a stop loss area there. What I would designate as a stop loss area. I'd rather be somewhere right around here, around the 26006s. Just don't find the setup there. And then you got a free fall for your stop loss. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that either. Man. For a lot of movement. Not really seeing much. All right, let's jump over to the ES. Let's see what the ES is doing. Get rid of that. We're gonna have to come up here. Let me consolidate this just a little bit. This is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. Fits nicely on the volume profile. All right, this looks very interesting on the ES here. Short at the 68.76.50. Short at the 68.76.50. Targeting the 68.72 and the 68.70. Stop loss at the 68.81. So that's an area of interest for me. Morning, Andra. Derpy, I used the composite volume profile. So I actually, I'm on the 120 day on the 15 an hour time frame, and then on my lower time frame charts like the one in the 5 minute, I'm on a 45 day volume composite. I care more about where the big volume participants have repeatedly showed interest over necessarily the daily profile. You know, obviously once you're getting into uncharted territories, when you get to uncharted territories, when you're like an all-time highs, you're pretty much on the daily profile. But that's kind of rare. this guy. Let's keep an eye on the NQ. All right, so the NQ, let's put on to the 5 minute. Yeah, this is a live stream. I'd say the delay is maybe, I think from what I was kind of testing, probably 5 to 6 seconds, maybe 7 seconds. All right. Nice little push there by the NQ. They left a few crumbs over here. So they had a nice little impulsive move there at the 25, 721 up to the 727s. It's just a little sloppy. But the more push that we get, I think maybe the better. Let's see how level 2 is looking here. 727. Can't see it. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. 25s are defended okay. Oh, this might be an interesting little setup here. 841. Morning, Jerry. All right, let's see what this trade might look like. Man, were those setups nice yesterday? Just all, I think every single one of them. Every single setup yesterday was, I think 3 of them went for TP1 and TP2, and then one went for just TP1. Let's see what's going on. All right, so halfway interesting setup on the NQ, along at the 25, 727, targeting the 733 and the 739, with a stop at the 25, 720s. Now let me just see what's going on here again. So they're defending the 30s. We're going to see some dancing around there. Man, this is coming quick, huh? All Not really giving me a chance to 25s look defended. This might not be bad. Let's see what happens here. I like that the 25s are being defended right now. So, you know, that 3 to 4 point drawdown range on the NQ, which I find acceptable on my drawdown, seems decent. A lot of overhead pressure right now. So they're going to want to tap right into the 25 800s. This is what they're looking for right now. So we've mapped out a setup on the ES and the NQ. The NQ is sitting at the 25,727.25, targeting the 25,733 and the 739 with the stop loss at the 720. We do have a setup underneath there at the 25,449, targeting the 456 and the 460 with the stop at the 440. And on the ES, we've mapped out, looks to be a really nice trade here, a short at the 68.76.50, targeting the 68.72 and the 70, with the stop at the 68.81. So this is going to be their auction process right here at the 25,800s. I saw that coming. And then they can probably complete their auction at the 760s, so right around here. Probably end this, they could probably close out this auction here at the 760s. As far as supply above it, you probably have to go up to like the 840s, 850s. That'd be a big stretch. Big stretch. So they'd be coming for this this region here. They've got the fuel for it. I don't know. I don't necessarily. Oh, wow. Holy moly. They do have the fuel for it. Let's see. And if they blow through. They blow through the 40s. We could see maybe a big upside move. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the upside that they're heading into, which is probably what they want. Yeah, that makes the most sense actually. This right here. So I would say pretty much this block, 740s. Let's see. And now we could probably map out a new area. This could get tricky here. There you go. This is what they want right here. Strong move, man. I like it. All right, so another setup here. Quick little scalp on the NQ at the 25,784, targeting the 789. Guess we could just call it this 90. What was that, like 85? Let me just call this 90. You know what? I'm sorry, I'm going to leave it right there. 25,794 would be target number 2 with a stop at the 25,776. Man, they're not even stopping. Thought for sure you'd have some kind of rebalancing out here, but they are on a move. They are on a move. Next one is the 880s. It's impressive, NASDAQ. I mean, they're going to have to... Well, maybe they don't. I don't know. It's a big play down to this 25,760, which to me right now is the most logical place for them to close this all out, but they might have their eye on some higher prizes. I don't see. I mean, the only other area that really needs rebalancing is right here at the 25,955s, but man, that's a move. That is a move and a half. All right, so 3 setups already mapped out this morning. NQ long 25,784, targeting the 789 and the 794 with a stop at the 25,776. Cancel this guy. 25,727 as an entry, targeting 25,733 and 739 with a stop at the 25,720s. And then on the ES, we've got a short scenario playing out at the 68.76, targeting the 68.72 and the 70, with a stop at the 68.81. And now I'm going to start looking at this area down here to see what might need to get balanced out. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more structure breaking, but can't have it all. All right, so this was a big pocket. Yeah, I like it. I like this how it looks on the. Oh, that's a beauty. This is a beaut right down here. Oh, I really like this one. Let's go. All right, let's see. This is going to be an entry right around there. This matches up like absolutely perfect on the volume profile. You had structure break, you had impulsive move, you have unbalanced volume. This these are those setups that I think I'm going to put that tick right there. Let's go to the entry, load, and then I'll just target that right here at the TP. All right, here's another setup. Long at the 6803.25, targeting the 6807 and the 6810 with a stop at the 6797. Morning, Key. Was anybody on stream this morning? Or I'm sorry, not on stream. Anybody on charts this morning for that NQ, TP1, TP2 I left you guys with yesterday? Hit this morning around 6 a.m. Central Time, so 7 Eastern. Well, we got a lot of setups. I mean, we got the ES pretty much cornered from the top and the bottom. And the NQ, we've got 2 setups, both from the bottom side. So I like that. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get some socks. I am freezing down here. Why does there seem to be a gap right there? That was a big push down, huh? I flushed them out. All right. So now where? That's impressive by the NQ. They got some fuel here. So now they can rebalance at the 830s. They left a big old pocket right there. I'm having major problems. What are the problems? What you got going on, Key? Gold took a huge dump. chorus of Wall Street executives warning investors to brace themselves for a pullback amid lofty valuations. Sparked a stock market slide amid growing concerns that the market surge has outpaced itself. The EU and China are committed to engaging on rare earth licensing. Okay, so that's probably why. Well, they need to find somebody else to buy their rare earth minerals. EU and China. Okay, no big deal, no big deal. Okay. Key, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not technical support for Ninja Trader, but by any chance, do you have are you using the chart spots composite volume profile like how I use? Yeah. Are you getting a brush air? Yeah, so the brush air might be coming from the composite volume profile. There's a few indicators like the line decorator. It doesn't like and maybe one or two other ones that are pretty common indicators on Ninja Trader that a lot of people use. I've kind of had to just kind of do some workarounds to make it all work now, but yeah, I don't have that indicator, so I don't know. All right, so they're going to target the 25 830s. I mean, they've done so much. They've opened up so many auctions, so much business here that they've got to dump it somewhere. The 830s seem like I don't know. Yeah, they might come back down to the 800s then. Interesting little spot here. My NT just froze for 2 minutes. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but that was kind of strange. To see a gap at 907 and a 1 minute candle is a little nutty. So finished up the stats for October on my Discord. Let's pull those up. So stats on my signal service for October was pretty good. 75% win rate on trades. I think there was a total of 20 signals in October, and 15 were winners. And a majority of them were TP1 and TP2. Let's see. All of the ES signals were all TP1 and TP2. And on the NQ, shit, they were all. There was one TP, only one. Oh, right here. So all of the winning signals on the NQ were all TP 1 and 2. Minus this guy right here. I think on the 14th. So October was fantastic. I only had one red day in October, which was last Monday on stream. And yes, I won't bring it up again that I lost that trade by a tick. But all right, so let's see if we get a little bit of a retracement here. The 830s seem like a natural spot, and the 800s. So right above TP2 right here. You can see a pretty a closing out of an auction for sure. No trade yet, Floki. I had a setup that I mapped out, that we had mapped out on the NQ, but that trade happened at like 6 a.m. this morning Central Time for TP1 and TP2, but I wasn't at the charts yet at that point. Typically get on the charts about 6:30, about 2 hours before the market opened, but I'm doing all my levels and everything I do for Discord, getting all my charts ready. I really got to use the washroom, but I really feel like this NQ trade here might come in quick. Let's see, 784. Okay. This might come quick here. Be right back, guys. Scream if the trade's hitting. All right, so it looks like they did what they thought they were going to do. So they balanced out the 830s. Now what else you got? Got a big prize up here at the 900s. A lot of volume sitting right there. That could be in play. And to the downside, right above our TP2 is a big area for them, the 25 800s. So the 900s and 800s right now. That's all of this here in the middle, though, is the dead zone. You get crushed there. Happy to help, Key. All right, so let's just go over the setups that we currently have. NQ long at the 25 784, targeting the 789 and the 794s. And they're coming after probably the 800s. Below that, we've got a long at the 25 727, targeting the 25 733 and the 739, with the stop at the 720. And the ES, we've got what I would consider an A+ setup here at the 6803, targeting the 6807 and 6810, with the stop at the 6797. And then to the top side, we've got a short scenario playing out at the 6876, targeting the 6872 and the 70, with a stop at the 6881. Let me grab this guy and bring him back down. Fear and Greed Index 25, Extreme Fear. Interesting. Interesting there. Whoa. Apologies. All right, we got pretty much everything mapped out. So at this point, anybody's got any questions or anything, just hit me up now. We got some time. Oh, I think we did have a question. Let's see. Top Step Randy opened a Funding Ticks account yesterday. Thanks for the referral code, Rob. Looking at Apex now and would like your thoughts if you can sometime this morning. All right, so I use Funding Ticks, Tradeify, as you know, I purchased just funded accounts, funded 50K accounts. So there was no evaluation period needed on that. On my Take Profit Pro, that was an evaluation that I passed. I think it was a $3,000 target. And I'm currently funded with their, off of that evaluation. Now with Apex does not offer, currently they don't offer any instant funded accounts. So there's going to be an evaluation with all of those. Now the main differences that I see with Apex is Apex, you've got obviously the scalability. You can purchase up to 20 accounts. If you pass those evals, which you can pass in one day, which again, not all prop firms have that. Some now do, but they were kind of like the pioneers in that. And with the up to 20 accounts, there's the scalability, which is kind of what I do with my cash accounts. I've kind of gone over that strategy with you guys many times with a smaller scale, you know, three cash accounts, 2 that I trade on through Ninja, and then I've got that Iron Beam account that I always talk about. And so you can pass obviously in a day on those PAs. So there's kind of a few rules of thought on the evaluations. One is you can kind of try to just go for a home run off of one trade and pass all of your evals, make it easy. And you can also blow all of the evals easy as well, you know. I guess if I was to have that mentality, I would look for, you know, like an A+ setup, like something like what I would map out on the ES right here. That to me right now is probably the best setup. I mean, these all can have very high likelihoods, 80% likelihood of hitting. But, you know, I would, if you're going to go for that home run theory, just make sure you've got a good setup and go for the fences with that. And then the other train of thought is just trade how you would normally trade, and slow and steady, you know, smaller trades, maybe $200, 10 points on the NQ, three points on the ES. So from that 150 to 200 range, and, you know, maybe try to pass them like within the month. So those are kind of the 2 trains of thought on the Apex. And then once you're funded, you know, they've got, I believe it's a 30% consistency rule. I think no more than 5-to-1 risk to reward. I should say reward to risk on that one. And again, just kind of go for some base hits and build that account up. And, you know, you take a payout, you know, multiplied by the number of accounts you got going. So there's kind of there's a prop firm for most people's strategies. Like Funding Ticks, they do have some rules that I really like. I mean, I don't keep overnight trades, but, you know, you could keep an overnight trade with Funding Ticks. And I don't think there's many prop firms out there that allow you to do that. So that's kind of nice. Their payouts are pretty quick. You know, again, within a day. It's always been within 24 hours. And their dashboard is pretty good, even though I think they had some issues on Friday and yesterday. I think they're all working through, but ultimately, I think the main goal with prop accounts or funded or, you know, instant funded, whatever it is that you choose, the goal really should be to eventually fund your own cash account. And I don't mind the evaluations, and I don't mind the funded accounts, especially for starters, or maybe for people that don't have the they're going for this, they're going for the 900s, huh? Or they might not have like the reserves to fund a cash account right off the bat, because there's rules. I mean, there's rules for these prop firms to make money on. They say they want you to be a better trader, but we all know the game. We all know the business model is people blowing up their accounts, resetting, and paying the fees and taking very little payouts. That's their profit model. Now, you can use that to, instead of using that as a negative, you can kind of use that as a positive, where it might instill a little bit better risk management. It'll definitely help you on your revenge trading. I think revenge trading is probably the number one blower of most people's accounts, from funded down to the evaluation. And, you start to revenge trade on your cash account, and you don't have that $85 reset or $45 new evaluation fee that you have to pay. You lost the funds that you were saving up to put it in there. So I think all has to be a gradual move to where you want to get to. But I think that there is prop firms out there that, like, I think, what is it, Tradeify? Tradeify's got, let me see what I think my consistency rule is 20%, which is, it's tough. I think I'm currently at, so I'm currently at a 20.3% consistency on my Tradeify funded at 50K funded. And I need about 300. No. Why can't I do the math here? Yeah, I think I need about 300. I need about $300 left for a payout on that one. But those are little by little. On that account, I don't think I've ever had a day that I made more than $300. And they all mirror my cash account. So whatever I'm willing to risk on my cash is the exact trade that I'm taking on the funded ticks, on the Tradeify, and the Take Profit Pro. I don't change my risk profile for the funded accounts, because I know if I'm getting payouts for my cash accounts, eventually all of the funded accounts that I have should do the same. They should mirror it. So I don't know if Tops Up, Brandy, if that answered your question. So the code, the code's right up on the screen. So I mean, just use code TraderRob. You should see it on the top left-hand part of the screen. So stay on my purpose, depending on what stage you're at. If you're kind of an experienced trader already and you're shown consistent profitability, to me, the instant funded makes the most sense. Because if you're going to pass a $3,000 eval, why not just take $3,000 in profit from the instant funded and try to take home $1,500 to $2,000 on that? So I lean towards that a lot more. There's obviously a little stricter on the consistency rules and things like that, but there's not a one size fits all approach to prop trading. I think a lot has to do with kind of where you sit as a trader, at what stage. If you're consistently profitable, and you're maybe trying to build up that cash account, I would probably say the instant funded is going to be your best bet. And in that scenario, I think funding ticks right now is for the price. I mean, they had a 50% off sale on Friday. That was pretty fantastic. It's pretty fire. They're good. And who else? Who else could I? You know, Tradeify's got a little bit of a tough consistency rule. So again, it all fits where you're at as a trader. But if you're starting off, I would probably say Apex or evals on a take profit trader would probably be your better fit. Cool. All right, so looks like the market. I didn't even see the IB play here, but I don't think that was right at the 9:30 candle. I guess I was deep into thought here. I wasn't even paying attention to the. Come on. No, okay. IB high still in play. Only issue with the IB high, let's see, what do we got? 7 points. Okay, it's not bad. Not terrible. You know, we could retap the IB high here, and they could make a sweep for this 25,900s. But that might provide them the liquidity that they want to close out that auction at that lower number that I had. So IB high could be a decent play here. We'll see how that goes. Again, IB high is just the initial balance of the market. So the first hour, 8:30 for me, 8:30 to 9:30 Central Time, 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern Time. And I'm interested in the IB high and low because of the high pockets of unbalanced volume that typically sits at those two levels. And you know, I switch down to my footprint confirmation. I wait for the footprint to cross or tap into this IB high or IB low, and then I'm looking for my footprint confirmation, which in this case, if we were looking to fade the IB high, I'd be looking for a red footprint candle with green positive delta, and that's my confirmation. Yes, it's pretty much sitting in the middle of the range right now. Probably be sitting there for a while. Yeah, 900's dropped off a little bit, but that's temporary. You'll see them probably come back in. I think they've got some business that they got to get done here at the 75s and 80s. At 75s. So again, quick recap as far as the strategies. I'm sorry, the setups for this morning. Looking at a a long on the NQ. Sorry. Looking for a long at the NQ on the 25.784, targeting the 789 and the 794s with the stop loss at 776. And then a setup right below it at the 25.727, targeting the 25.733, 739 with the stop loss at the 25.720s. And on the ES, we've got two setups mapped out. A short at the 68.7650, targeting the 68.72 and the 70, with the stop at the 68.81. And then to the downside, we've got a long, really nice long setup at the 68.03, targeting the 68.07 and the 68.10, with a stop at the 67.97. See a lot of orders on the IB high. No, IB high right now is pretty soft. They're at the 900s, so again, this is a trade where I could expect to see a sweep to the 900s, maybe the 25.899s, and then we'll look for it. We might not. We might get the confirmation right at the IB high. 15-point stop, 15-point take profit. From where I get my footprint confirmation is how that trade looks like for me. Big absorption by buyers. Buyers look pretty strong right here. Could see the push here, I think, to IB high 900s. And it looks like that player now moved to the 15, to the 25, 915s to the 20s. So they're sitting up here. But this area right here looks to be defending it pretty strongly. Let's see what happens here. Big bounce, big absorption. That might be the fuel right there. Nice push. Who's that? Nark, you just got to be careful with the 930s. Careful for sweeps of the 930s. All right, 90s, 95s. Stepping in. That's only fuel. No, Morgan, only on the NQ. Now, we could see a violent spike, remember, up to the 900s. So that is part of the game plan. All right, let's see if they pick up some fuel here at the 855s, 850s. Keith, sometimes, yeah, if you blow through the IB and you reach some pockets above, yeah, then at that point, you could always look for the retest on the IB with the exact same confirmation. In fact, that was I took that trade I think on Thursday of last week, if I'm not mistaken. On an IB low, I took a retest. So I blew through the IB low, no footprint confirmation, retested it, got the footprint confirmation to the downside, and jumped into that one. I think I got a screenshot of it. Yeah, so I think it was, forgot who asked the question, but here's a good example of a retest. So blew through IB low, no footprint confirmation, came right back in, and this is where I took my short off the footprint confirmation, got the 15 points. I thought I had a screenshot of the footprint confirmation too, but it was a really nice one. Morning, Nate. I would agree with you, Key. That would have been a nice, move. What was that, about 3 points? Market knows what it wants to do, though. Like I said, they've conducted a lot. So I mean, like I said, right above TP2, right at the 800s. This is an area for them to close out auctions for sure. They could do a really nice rug pull and go right back up. We'll see. Still a good ways away from the ES trade. We're about 30 points away there. I'd like to see them stepping in around the 82s, 83s. They're slightly stepping in there. I'd like to see them step in just a little bit more. Oh, big absorption there. Big absorption there by sellers. Order book kind of thinned out there. Sellers look very strong right now. They are churning for this 800. And I know I say it every day, but the market does the exact same thing every single day. move, man. Alright, we can also start taking a look at some areas right up here. Very curious to see what kind of fight we get here at the 800s. How they react there. Like to see a little bit more defense than the 82s. What just happened here? I have frozen charts. I have frozen charts. Are you kidding me? We are at the 790. What is going on here? All my charts are frozen. Joe, yours are too? Okay, well, what the fuck, man? $780s. Yeah, that was... I have no idea what just happened. From Bookmap, it looks like that hit. What in the flying F is going on? You bastard. I have no idea what happened here, guys. This is all junk data right here. Unbelievable. what just happened there. I don't know. I saw it at the bouncing at the 85 on Bookmap. At least it looks like it bounced on the 85s to or TP. But I don't know. Maybe it was a retest. I don't know. No idea. Well, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary for... I don't necessarily think it might be the best idea to even trade this because, again, I'm trading with 2 live cash accounts, so... I mean, was it news that hit here? A headline? What? Never. I've been trading with Ninja for like at least 3 years, and I've never seen this happen twice like that. And that now is scaring the shit out of me. It's a good thing I was looking at Bookmap because I was just chilling looking at the chart. And I kept seeing Bookmap move, but didn't see anything happen on the charts. Dang. Yeah, but it might be your... It could also be the feed, too. I mean, you know, you could be using NinjaTrader off of a feed with your prop firm, and they might have not have been affected. I'm with Ninja Brokerage too, so that was shit. But let's see what we got brewing here. Yeah. Yatter, so you're in the similar situation as me. And you're saying that your charts... Okay, so your charts froze at the same time. That is really weird. Really weird. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a really warm, fuzzy feeling about trading trading this morning right now with my cash accounts. And that's the second time it's happened to me. If it would have been just this one time, it would have been a different. And it seemed to happen on high market volatility. I mean, I'm assuming that there. I can't see what price action did, but I'm assuming that there was a spike to the downside there. I mean, for our signal not to hold up at all or have any reaction, without even looking at it, to me looks like there was something high volatility happen. But the fact that other people had the same problem, I guess, seems to mean that something's going on with Ninja. Right, so now what are we looking at? The 25,727. Okay, it's kind of light right now. But we do have a little bit of defense of the 25s. ES is going to have a... It's going to have a wall to get through by the 23s here. But we still got kind of a ways to go on that setup. Kind of in the middle there. Where's IB low at? Okay, down here. Oh, I did. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that on the chart. I did reload the Ninja script and historical, but didn't do anything. Be right back, guys. So random, I didn't necessarily know yet if I was going to either limit order. Felt like a limit order here on the 25,727 was a great play. I don't know. I honestly, we were all the way up here, and I was wanting to see what it would do at that at the 800s. Where I mean, I guess that's where the volatility must have occurred, and I never really even got into the thought process yet of the market order or the limit order. 95% of my trades are, market ordering in with a confirmation. But as you guys have seen on these NQs, the limit orders seem to be playing out much nicer. I guess not in this scenario, even though I still don't see what the hell happened there, but... I guess this is a prime example of what I spoke about maybe the first or second day on stream. Market has a way of correcting your mistakes and making your mistakes pretty bad, but they usually end up balancing out somehow. I do like this trade down here at the 25.727s as a limit order. I'm just very nervous with my cash accounts for having the same type of ridiculousness happen there. So news tomorrow, we got ADP employment change at 7:15. US, then we got the Treasury QRA at 7:30. ISM PMI at 8. PMI S&P at 8:45. Oil inventory at 9:30. Oh, we got a lot of news tomorrow. Yeah, I believe so. ADP is the private sector. Oh, come on, do something here. Well, he finally tapped into the 760s. Pretty tight stop here on the 25.720. Was it 7 points? Very tight. Whoopsie. So this is a tiny little scalp that just kind of presented itself on this impulsive move right here. Short at 25,795. Very small targets, but that's what I see as pretty simple TP1 and TP2, to be honest with you. Only thing is I'm 7 points of risk. I'd say BB plus maybe. Let me see where the origination came from once again. It didn't really break structure. Didn't break structure right here. I don't know. I'm going to leave this one up on the screen. I'm going to be curious to see what happens here. It kind of balanced out a good amount of volume here already. And I don't really see that great of a break of structure either. This is kind of shitty. Maybe a C plus setup at this point, maybe. Yeah, it's really small targets. I don't know if it's worth it. I think I'm just more curious to see how it's going to react there. I will say, if the ES can break these 20s, we could see a free fall. We could see a quick move to our setup there. They gotta break. They gotta break this right here, the 20s. All right, I guess we do we put the risk on here? Guys, if you haven't done so, I appreciate a like on the stream. Thank you very much. The market's in a very weird state right now. It's in balance here. It's funny. I just heard my PC wind up pretty strongly, which usually means something on the charts is happening, but it didn't seem like it was that crazy of a move. My PC fans are my volatility index, my VIX. Thanks, JG. Appreciate that a lot. I don't know. It's like the smart side of my brain is saying don't risk the cash accounts. The trader in me is dying to take the trade. It's like a battle. Who wins the battle? I like the setup. I like a limit order at the 727s, to be honest with you. Oh, I have a strong beliefs in my trade. My charts have frozen twice on Ninja, and I just, as a responsible preserver of my capital, I feel that it wouldn't be in my best interest right now to take a trade with those two lingering chart freezes that we've had, that I personally had, and a few other people on stream. I have all the confidence in the world in the setup. I just don't have confidence right now in my Ninja Trader chart. All right, strong push there. Let's see what happens here. 27s, 25s. All right, so they just stepped in again pretty strong on the 25s. Say I really like a limit order here. I really do. I guess we're going to risk it. It's going against my better judgment, but it's acting a little bizarro, the market right now. There it goes again. You see that? Froze again. There it is. Frozen again. Computer is screaming. Frozen chart again. There you go. That's why I gotta listen to my better self, man. I'm completely frozen right now. Where'd it go into? Random Barbarian happened to you too. All right. Guys, I'm not trading this anymore. I don't feel confident in trading my cash accounts on this in this environment right now. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it stream today with no. I mean, my chart's still frozen. Zeros. It's completely frozen. I don't even know if I can give you guys a. Well, yeah, I can give you guys here a recap. So what I'm looking at right now is a short. I don't even know if we're there already. I don't think so. I mean, we're at the 770s. So where are we at? 765. So we're somewhere down here. Short at the 25,795. Targeting the 25,791 and 88. And then to the upside, I can't show you guys the stop loss right now. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can move it. 25,727 to the 25,733 and the 739. ES really like this setup down here. I would consider this to be one of the A plus setups that I can find on the ES. 6803, targeting the 6807, 6810, with the stop loss at the 6797. And then to the top side, we've got a short at the 6876, targeting the, okay, so my chart's just unfroze. 6876, targeting the 6872 and the 70 with the stop loss at the 6881. So, but I'm definitely not taking this. I'm definitely not taking a trade right here. I mean, there's no sense in taking stupid risk with what's been going on, at least for me. All right, guys, I'm going to call it for the stream for today. Please make sure to hit the like. I'll be on tomorrow at the market open. Quick note: there will be no live stream this Friday, as I told you guys. I'm going to be in Naples, and then the stream will we'll still have the stream tomorrow and Thursday. No stream on Friday. So with that, stay patient. Hopefully this corrects here shortly. But I really like to see some communication from Ninja. And have a good day trading, guys. Like I said, just stay patient. I appreciate all the kind words on the chat today. Take care, everybody.